Going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today again with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the 2021 NFL Draft and our number 7 overall pick. What are the options? So what are the options, guys? But before I say that, don't forget, guys, to hit the subscribe button on the bottom right. Like and comment. It's all about liking and comment. Hit the notification bell to get all my videos, and that's what it's all about, man. Liking, hitting the bell, and let's talk some football, guys. Let's talk some NFL football, Detroit Lions especially. But what are our options? What are going to be our options at the number 7 pick? Now, number 1, can we hold at 7 and take our player, play it safe, do the BPA, best player available? That's an option. Number 2, now could we trade down and acquire more picks? A lot of people want to do that. That's not a bad option as well. Just got to do it right. Now, a quarterback-hungry team, could they jump up, right? Could that happen? Lions might not like a certain player or a certain quarterback or anybody at number 7. So they could fall back. Not a franchise quarterback there at all, fall back, right? Maybe not an elite talent on defense as well, drop back as well if they don't like anybody. If all the guys on offense if they coveted 6 guys, say, and just say 6 offensive guys went before and they still don't like those 2 defensive players, they could fall back. Now, even though I like guys like Micah Parsons, the linebacker out of Penn State, and defensive end Greg Russo out of Miami, I really like those guys at 7, but there's still a chance those guys could be there if you fall back a little bit. Now that's option number 2. Now option number 3 is the one that I don't like and I don't think will happen. You can trade up and get your coveted player. Now, I don't think they're doing that, guys. Not in a rebuild, not in a retool, whatever Brad Holmes wants to call this. I don't think that's an option. Now, we don't have 6 picks, so I think Brad Holmes is going to want to. If anything, he's going to want to try to gain more capital. He's not going to try to lose capital by going up and giving away 2, 3 picks for one player. It's just not going to happen, I don't think, guys. It's just not going to happen. But there could be an option. You never know. Obviously, I don't run this team, but I just don't think that's the way the Lions are going to do it. Now, real quick, let's talk about the first 6 picks. Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars. It's all that should be locked in. They're taking the quarterback out of Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. He's the real deal. Everything about him, what you see, what you hear about him is all real. The kid is the real deal. He's the can't miss, surefire prospect. Now, number 2, the Jets. Now, they can go a couple different ways here. I think they're going to go quarterback, but they could try to get something for Sam Darnold. They could try to get a wide receiver. They could even try to protect them with a lineman, but I still think they're going quarterback, and I think they go Zach Wilson there. Now, number 3, Dolphins. They could do a couple of things too. They could build on that really good defense. They do need a linebacker, but I think grabbing Parsons could be maybe too early there. I think they're going to get a weapon for Tua. So it's going to be Devontae Smith, the wide receiver out of Alabama. That's what I think they're grabbing. Not number 4, the Atlanta Falcons. They could go a couple ways too. They have a really bad defense. They might want to shore up their O-line. You never know what's going on there. But I think they go quarterback and they go Justin Fields here. Matt Ryan, I think, is still playing the NFL. He's 37, 38 years old. His contract, you can't get out of it this year, but you can get out of it in 2022. It could be a high option for them. Quarterback, start over, new regime, new head coach. Everything's brand new over there. They might want to start off new with a quarterback. Now, number 5, the Bengals. They could do a couple of different things as well, too. Losing Joe Burrow last year hurt halfway through the year. I believe it was halfway through the year. I forget. But he destroyed his leg. So I think they're going to want to try to protect him. It's probably going to be either left tackle Penei Sewell or offensive tackle Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. To me, I think Sewell is the better prospect. Rashawn Slater might be the overall better guy, NFL ready right away. He might be. But I think Sewell will be the better guy and the better tackle in the long run. So I'm gonna mock Sewell just to the Bengals right now at 5. Now I'm gonna be doing another whole new mock later on. I'm just kind of doing this real quick. They could even go a weapon for Joe Burrow, even though they're losing AJ Green. So but I think they'll go old lineman, and they're going to go the kid from Oregon. 6 now, the Eagles, this is where it gets tricky. Who knows what they're up to? They need a couple of different things too. They need linebackers. They need some things. But I think they go wide receiver, Jamar Chase to help out Jalen Hurts. Now there's even talk about them possibly looking at a quarterback in the draft. I think that's all fluff. I'm not believing it for a second. I think they're going to try to build for Jalen Hurts. So, but you never know. You never know. They could go a tight end because they love doing those 2 tight end sets. So they could do a Kyle Pitts and make him like a slash wide receiver tight end. I think he plays wide receiver in the NFL, by the way, Kyle Pitts. But I think they're going to go Jamar Chase. So off the board, that's the 6 picks, guys. So off the board is who I have: quarterback Trevor Lawrence, quarterback Zach Wilson, wide receiver Devontae Smith, quarterback Justin Fields, left tackle Penei Sewell, wide receiver Jamar Chase. Those are the 6 guys more than likely gone. That's who I think will be gone. Players always rise and sometimes fall before the draft and all that stuff. So that leaves players like for the Lions at 7. We pick at 7. So that leaves guys like linebacker Micah Parsons, who I like, offensive tackle. This kid can play offensive tackle, guard, and center. Or Rashawn Slater could be an option. Try to shore up that right side of that line. And then wide receiver, Jalen Waddle from Alabama is there. Then quarterback Trey Lance could be there. And then defensive end Gregory Rousseau. Those are the guys that I really like at 7. Those are the guys that really, if we stay put right there. Now, that's the question. Do the Lions stay put and take one of these players, right? Or, number 2, do they trade down? It's a high possibility because there's a lot of teams this year that are going to be possibly in or could be in a quarterback hunt. Big time. I'm going to name the teams, too, that are right behind us in the draft. The Panthers at 8 could be looking at a quarterback. They probably are. I think they're done with Teddy Bridgewater. They've been trying to unload him for a while now. Drew Lock, number 9, the Broncos. They could be trying to get rid of him as well. There's been rumors that they're trying to get him set sail, gone out of Denver, but they haven't been able to do it. But he's a high possibility of being traded. Now there's number 10, the Cowboys. The Cowboys, believe it or not, could be in line to pack it in, and sick and tired of giving money to Dak Prescott. And he got that bad injury last year. They could be moving on and trying to get a quarterback. They could be a quarterback away too, the Cowboys. I think they got a little bit of help to do in the defense, but they could think that they're a quarterback away. Now, number 12, the San Francisco 49ers. There's been talks about the 49ers trying to unload Jimmy Garoppolo. That's a team that could be trying to look for a quarterback. Number 14, believe it or not, the Vikings. Are they happy with Kirk Cousins? Who knows, man? Who knows? Could be a possibility. I don't really think so. I think Kirk's at least another year in Minnesota. Patriots, 15. They just had the Cam Newton experience. That was a complete failure in New England. Bill Belichick, he's got a legacy to think of, okay? He has a lot going for him. You know what I mean? His name is already cemented in stone in the Hall of Fame, all that stuff, but he doesn't want to go out like this. They could be looking for a quarterback. You never know. There's a guy like Mac Jones, apparently, that they covet a lot, and they might want to jump up to grab him. You just never know. Now, the Raiders are at 17. Are they done with Carr? Who knows? There's been talks that they are. There's been talks that they're not. His brother was just on the NFL Network talking about how his brother is sick and tired of hearing his name in trade rumors. So that's could be an option. Yeah, you got Washington at 19, who could be an option of getting a quarterback. They just signed, what's his name? Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke, the kid that just played in the playoffs, played really well. They just signed him to about $8.5 million or something like that. What it was to be a backup. So I don't think they're going in thinking he's the guy. Now, the Chicago Bears at 20. Hey, you never know, man. They're looking to move on from Trubisky. I think they're done with Foles. They could be an option. The Colts at 21. Phillip Rivers just retired. Jacoby Brissett is not the answer in Indianapolis. They are pretty much a quarterback away from making it to the Super Bowl and or winning. The Pittsburgh Steelers at 24. Big Ben. I think he's coming back for another year. I haven't really heard too much about it, but I'm pretty sure he's coming back, but he's literally on one leg. He's almost ready to retire. Then you have the Saints, Drew Brees at 28. I think Drew Brees retired. I'm not 100% sure about it, but I'm pretty sure he did. They will be looking for a quarterback. Are they going to turn to Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill? I don't think that's the option, but maybe they could, man, on a 1-year deal just to see where they're at. And then finally, last but not least, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, the same Tampa Bay Buccaneers that just won the Super Bowl at 32. 32 pick as they just won it. Tom Brady is going to be 44. 40, you know what I mean? He's Super Bowl MVP, but he can't play forever. Maybe he can. I don't know, but they could be in line for looking for a quarterback. You just never know. That's why I say, guys, that's how many teams is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 possible teams looking for a new quarterback this year. Doesn't mean that 13 teams are going to get a new quarterback. It just means that there's a lot of options. And the Detroit Lions are in the perfect spot to do this. Perfect spot. They couldn't be in a more perfect spot to trade down and acquire more picks. A guy like Micah Parsons could slip. He might be able to slip because of the things that's been going down in his personal life. With this hazing, you know what I mean? He could fall. Now, you can get a player like a Rashawn Slater to shore up the right side. Like I said, he could fall back a little bit. Drop down and possibly get that stud wide receiver like a Jalen Waddle. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can snatch up a Christian Barmore to beef up that D-line on the interior spot. A pass rusher like Gregory Rousseau or Jalen Phillips could possibly fall right into your laps if you drop back a little bit and acquire more picks. Maybe a defensive end like Kwity Paye from Michigan. Guy that didn't really pan out in college because he got some injuries. Might have had a couple other issues too, scheme and all that stuff. A lot of weird stuff going on in Michigan. He could be a guy that could slip into the teens. And you could possibly grab a guy like Kwity Paye, who's got lots and lots of talent. Now, imagine landing a linebacker like a Koromora. Imagine getting a guy like him in the late teens or maybe early 20s. The kid out of Notre Dame, the linebacker from Notre Dame, it'd be bonus. That would be absolute bonus. Now, but this is the thing, though. If you're going to drop far, if you're going to drop past 15, you're going to go to 19, 20, you better get extra draft capital. And I know they will, but it's something that really needs to be talked about because it's huge. It's going to be really huge this year because it's this COVID. You know, the COVID has taken completely over, so there's no combine. There's no one-on-one meetings. There's not a lot of, even for high profile players opted out. So there's no tape on a lot of guys. Even for mid-round players, there's guys that probably sat out, you know what I mean? But there's not a lot of video, there's not a lot of game tape to watch, that you have to go back a couple of years. You know what I mean? But you want to see players progress. You want to see them getting bigger. You want to see them progressing in their game. Teams are not seeing that. So, you know what I mean? So they're going to have to A, be phenomenal at drafting, phenomenal at scouting, and C, just doing your homework on these guys. And, you know, it's their job. So obviously we trust these guys, right? But this is what it is. Draft capital is going to be huge because if you only have 6 picks like we do and you miss on, say, 2 or 3, that's a horrible ratio. You acquire 2, 3 more draft picks and you get like 8 or 9 or something like that. You get 8 or 9 picks and you miss out on 2. You can almost live with that. You know what I mean? You can almost live with that. The more, the merrier, as the saying goes. You know what I mean? The more, the merrier. But if you stick with 6, you got to nail at least 4 or 5 of them. You have to, and I'm talking nail them. So that's what I'm trying to say, guys. That's what I'm trying to say, because you can just you can keep going back, and then when you acquire more picks, and when you get more picks, you can go get that extra running back for DeAndre Swift. You can go get maybe a Najee Harris or something like that if he slips into the second round. And as long as you've got another pick coming up after that quick, you know what I mean? You just don't want to focus on this offense because this defense needs a lot of help. But they want to run the football, so they could grab a running back like Najee Harris. You know what I mean? Who's going to be probably a beast. Tremont Sermon from Ohio State. Those kind of guys are going to be monsters. You can get a guy like Carlos Basham by going down. You don't have to reach for a Carlos Basham at 7. You can take a Carlos Basham. You can take a safety like Javon Holland out of Oregon. You can take a guy like that as well. So just as long as you got extra picks. Now, and like I said, trading up, it can't be an option, guys. It's just not going to be an option. In my opinion, no player is even worth it there anyways. Unless it's Trevor Lawrence, and the Detroit Lions are not trying to move up with 6 picks to get Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean? Even though they got those extra first-round picks in the next coming years, those can't be used right now. You can't put Trevor Lawrence in a fire like that. You know what I mean? I personally, I think quarterback's even out of the picture. Even though I'm a big Trey Lance guy, I was huge on quarterback, but the Lions did this in a smart way, guys. They did this very calculated. This is very calculated. Not only did they get the picks, okay, you got 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick this year for a 33-year-old quarterback that's been broken down the past couple of years. And then not only that, you got a starting quarterback. Now, I personally think it would be silly to go get that quarterback now, even though I still think Jared Goff is a bridge quarterback. I really do. I think he's that bridge quarterback. I'm not sold on him being the guy, but that's me. I don't work for the Detroit Lions. It's just that's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? I think Goff is a bridge quarterback. But I still think it would be silly of them to go get that quarterback, especially with the way these quarterbacks are. There's only one surefire quarterback in this draft, and his name is Trevor Lawrence. 2, there's Zach Wilson, who I like, but he's got some issues. He's got some issues, man. He's got some leadership issues, apparently. He's got maybe a little bit of size that I don't like. He's tall, but he's thin. He's light, okay? He's got a little bit of attitude, and it's not the good attitude, too. That's what you're hearing. 3, Justin Fields. We all know how those quarterbacks are in OSU, and I guarantee you GMs think that too. Not all of them maybe, but it's probably something in the back of a lot of those guys' mind. He's got all kinds of talent, and I'm not gonna bash him because he's a Buckeye, and I love the Michigan Wolverines, but there's question marks on him as well. He could have beat out Fromm at Georgia, and he literally had to get out of there and come to OSU. But he shined bright at OSU. He really did. And then you got Trey Lance, who's probably the guy that I love the most besides Trevor Lawrence. But he's got a lot of question marks too. Plays smaller school. Competition wasn't that great. Not a lot of video on him because he only played 1 full season and then like 1 game. So there's a lot of question marks. A lot of question marks this year in these quarterbacks, guys. So the Lions might not even like a quarterback at 7. But I just gave you guys a bunch of options of what they possibly could do. I hope you could follow that. Hope you could follow that, because the way I wrote it out a bunch of chicken scratch. And I was trying to keep up myself. But I think I did an okay job. But anyways, guys, thanks for the video. This is what I wanted to get out. Watch the video. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to subscribe, like I said, in the bottom right corner. Hit that notification bell. Get all my videos. Like and comment. Negative, positive. All about the feedback. All about the likes. That's what helps my videos. Thanks a lot, guys. Go Lions. Let's go, man. Draft is coming up. Boom.